What would you call a woman connected to almost 10 men? This was the reality of Anita Ekberg, a woman who could have any man she desired. Yeah, there are many beautiful women in Hollywood. However, very few could match Anita's charm and elegance. How can we sum up her relationship life? Join us as we journey into Anita's persona and her riotous romance. The model. Gorgeous Anita was born on September 19, 1931 in Malmö, located in the Skåne region of Sweden. She was the sixth of 8 children in a bustling family, where the dynamics of growing up in such a large household undoubtedly shaped her personality and aspirations. From an early age, Anita exhibited a striking presence and charm that would captivate audiences worldwide. As a teenager, she ventured into fashion modeling, allowing her to explore her beauty and poise. This early exposure to the fashion industry honed her sense of style and confidence. Encouraged by her mother, she took a significant step in her modeling career by entering the Miss Malmö competition in 1950. It was a local event that marked a defining moment for her. Winning this contest bolstered her self-esteem and paved the way for her participation in the larger Miss Sweden contest, in which she emerged victorious and gained national recognition. Despite her success, Anita faced language barriers as she spoke very little English then. This, however, did not deter her ambition. The allure of the international stage drew her, and she boldly decided to travel to the United States to compete for the Miss Universe title in 1951. At that time, the Miss Universe pageant was not an official event, but offered a platform for international beauty and talent. Anita's determination and charisma shone through, and she bravely took on the challenge that would set the course for her future in the entertainment industry, ultimately leading her to a successful career in film and modeling. Anita's poise on screen. Although Ekberg did not win the Miss Universe pageant, she earned a starlet's contract with Universal Studios as one of 6 finalists. As a starlet at Universal, she received drama, elocution, dancing, horseback riding, and fencing lessons. She appeared briefly in The Mississippi Gambler with Tyrone Power, Abbott, and Costello, Go to Mars, playing a woman on Venus, Take Me to Town with Ann Sheridan, and The Golden Blade with Rock Hudson and Piper Laurie. Hold the name Tyrone Power. He will later form an integral part of Anita's life. Their time on screen developed into something more. Why? Did Anita's mesmerizing appearance overcome the powerful Tyrone? We will soon find out. Ekberg skipped many drama lessons, restricting herself to riding horses in the Hollywood Hills. Ekberg later admitted she was spoiled by the studio system and played instead of pursuing bigger film roles. Ultimately, Universal dropped her after 6 months. The combination of Ekberg's alluring physique and colorful private life appealed to gossip magazines like Confidential. She soon became a major 1950s pin-up, appearing in men's magazines like Playboy. Additionally, Ekberg participated in publicity stunts. She once admitted that an incident in which her dress burst open in the lobby of London's Berkeley Hotel was prearranged with a photographer. Ekberg toured Greenland with Bob Hope, entertaining American servicemen. Hope spoke of her beauty, and John Wayne signed her up for a contract with his Bat-Jack Productions, which is $75 weekly. By the mid-1950s, after several modeling jobs, Ekberg finally broke into the film industry. She guest starred in the short-lived TV series Casablanca and Private Secretary. She played a small part in the film Blood Alley, starring John Wayne and Lauren Bacall, which was made for Wayne's Bat-Jack Productions. It was her first real speaking role in a feature. She appeared alongside Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis in a comedy act in Artists and Models, directed by Frank Tashlin for Paramount, playing Anita. Ekberg's greatest opportunity was when Paramount cast her in War and Peace, shot in Rome, alongside Mel Ferrer and Audrey Hepburn, directed by King Vidor. She was even publicized as Paramount's Marilyn Monroe. And to be candid, Anita had much in common with the intimacy symbol. One is her relationship with Frank Sinatra, as Marilyn also had a fling with him. Are you shocked to hear that? Well, keep watching to find out more. Ekberg was third billed in a thriller for Batjack, Man in the Vault. It was distributed by RKO Pictures, who gave Ekberg an excellent part in Back from Eternity, directed by John Farrow. Ekberg signed a deal with Warwick Pictures, the company of producers Albert Broccoli and Irwin Allen, who made films in England. She did Zarak with Victor Mature. Ekberg returned to Hollywood to make a second film with Martin, Lewis, and Tashlin, Hollywood or Bust. She also made a second film for Warwick with Mature Interpol. In 1956, Hedda Hopper said her fee was $75,000 per picture. She was announced for Glare, directed by Bud Boticher, but this movie was not produced. When John Wayne split up with his producing partner Robert Fellows, Fellows took over Ekberg's contract. She returned to Hollywood to make Valerie with Sterling Hayden and her then-husband Anthony Steele for director Gerd Oswald. She co-starred with Bob Hope and Fernandel in Paris Holiday. This film was also directed by Oswald, as was Screaming Mimi. She did a third for Warwick, The Man Inside with Jack Palance. Then, another film was announced for her, A Lot of Woman, but this was not produced. Ekberg went to Italy to star in Sheba and the Gladiator, playing Zenobia. She then stayed in Rome to make La Dolce Vita for Federico Fellini, performing as Sylvia Rank, the unattainable dream woman of the character played by Marcello Mastroianni. Keep the name Marcello in hand. Why? Anita left a mark on him. The film features a scene of her cavorting in Rome's Trevi Fountain, alongside Mastroianni, which has been called one of cinema's most iconic scenes. The movie was an international sensation, and Ekberg settled in Rome. She had the lead in an Italian-French co-production, Last Train to Shanghai, also called The Dam on the Yellow River, then was in Le Tre Etc. del Colonnello, The Call Girl Business, Behind Closed Doors, and The Mongols, which had an American director, Andre de Toth, and co-star Jack Palance. She later said, "Things became a little bit boring for me after La Dolce Vita, because every producer or director in Italy, England, and America wanted me to recreate the same role. The movie star from America who comes over to Italy. Why won't this happen?" Look at her picture in the movie, in La Dolce Vita. Ekberg then appeared in Boccaccio 70, a film featuring Sophia Loren and Romy Schneider. Soon thereafter, Broccoli considered Ekberg to play the first Bond girl, Honey Rider, in Dr. No, but the role went to the then unknown Ursula Andress. However, Broccoli cast her in Call Me Buona with Bob Hope. This was featured in the second Bond film, From Russia with Love, during a sequence where Ali Karim Bey assassinates the Russian agent Krylenko with a sniper rifle. Krylenko attempts to escape through a window, which is situated in Anita Ekberg's mouth, on the wall-sized poster. "She should have kept her mouth shut," Bond quips. Ekberg co-starred with Andres, Frank Sinatra, and Dean Martin in the Western comedy 4 for Texas. She returned to Europe to make Love Factory and Who Wants to Sleep. She went to England for an Agatha Christie adaptation, The Alphabet Murders, directed by Frank Tashlin, who had directed her 2 Martin and Lewis films. Ekberg, a captivating figure of the 1960s and early 1970s cinema, showcased her talents in various roles during this prolific career period. She gained attention in the Italian film How I Learned to Love Women in 1966. This quirky romantic comedy demonstrated her ability to blend charm with humor, a skill that would serve her well in subsequent projects. That same year, she starred in Jerry Lewis's comedy Way, Way Out, where her comedic prowess complemented Lewis's unique style. She also starred in Pardon, Are You For or Against? A lively comedy by renowned Italian filmmaker Alberto Sordi. Her ability to adapt to different styles was showcased again in The Cobra, an Italian crime drama that featured American actor Dana Andrews. In The Glass Sphinx, she shared the screen with Robert Taylor, adding a touch of glamour to the film's atmospheric narrative. Another notable performance that year was in Woman x7, an anthology directed by Vittorio De Sica, where she participated in a segment alongside Michael Caine, highlighting her versatility as an actress. Ekberg continued diversifying her filmography with Cronica de un Attraco in 1968, showcasing her range in another genre. In 1969, she made a brief yet noteworthy cameo in If It's Tuesday, This Must Be Belgium, which further solidified her status in the film industry. That same year, she took the lead roles in films such as Fangs of the Living Dead, a horror flick that allowed her to explore darker themes, and Death Knocks Twice, which added to her growing repertoire of suspenseful narratives. In a significant twist, legendary filmmaker Federico Fellini reached out to Ekberg for a cameo in The Clowns, recognizing her past work and highlighting her continued relevance in the industry. Following this, she embraced more substantial roles in films like The Divorce, where she starred opposite Vittorio Gassman, and The Conjugal Debt. Her performance in Quella Chiara Notte d'Ottobre further demonstrated her ability to navigate complex characters with depth and nuance. She ventured back into the horror genre in 1972 with The French Murders, a giallo that showcased her enduring appeal in thrilling narratives, and concluded this phase of her career with Deadly Trackers, where she proved yet again her knack for engaging storytelling across multiple genres. Throughout these years, Ekberg's contributions to film were marked by her striking presence and ability to adapt to various roles, earning her a lasting legacy in cinema. She went to Asia to make a Hollywood film in the northeast part of Seoul. One crucial part of her story was when she sued an Italian magazine for publishing her naked photographs. She saw this as a breach of privacy and couldn't let it slide. Ekberg was also in gold of the Amazon Women, Killer Nun, SHE, Security Hazards Expert, Ciccia Bomba, and The Seduction of Angela. Fellini used her in Intervista, appearing as herself in a reunion scene with Mastroianni. Later performances included Count Max, Ambrosio, Cattivi Ragazzi, Witness Run, and Bambola, partly turned down by Gina Lollobrigida. She had a good part in Le Nain Rouge and guest starred in the Italian TV series The Second Bello delle Donne. In 2021, actress Monica Bellucci co-produced and starred in a mockumentary dedicated to Ekberg, The Girl in the Fountain, presented as a special event at the 2021 Torino Film Festival. This was a nod to her acting prowess. With such a successful career, what went on in her private life? As you might guess, it's a whole world on its own. Anita wasn't lucky with relationships. Could this be tied to her smashing beauty? Can we call it the negative impact of being beautiful? Let's delve into her private life and the long list of men connected to her. 2 marriages. Anita was a wife to 2 men at different times. As you might guess, they were both actors. Unfortunately, the marriages were tumultuous, ending badly for the smashing beauty. She was married to Anthony Steele from the 22nd of May, 1956, until their divorce on the 14th, May 1959, and to Rick Van Nutter from the 9th of April, 1963, until their divorce in 1975. In a 2006 interview, she said she wished she had a child, but stated the opposite 6 months later. Hence, she had no kids. Ekberg's great love was Gianni Agnelli, the Italian industrialist and owner of Fiat. They were lovers for several years, although he was married. Their relationship was intense but complicated, filled with passion and challenges. Ekberg often spoke about how much she admired Agnelli, not just for his wealth and status, but for his charisma and charm. Friends close to her remarked that he was the one person who truly understood her. However, the reality of his commitments made it difficult for them to build a future together. Ekberg found herself in a constant tug-of-war between her feelings and the constraints of their circumstances. Despite the heartache, she always looked back at that period with nostalgia. She loved fiercely and openly, traits that defined her on and off the screen. Ultimately, Ekberg seemed to accept that some love stories are not meant to last, yet they leave lasting impressions. Care to know more about Agnelli? Then, keep watching. Ekberg was often outspoken in interviews, naming famous people she reportedly couldn't bear. She was also frequently quoted as saying that it was Fellini who owed his success to her, rather than vice versa. They would like to keep up the story that Fellini made me famous, that Fellini discovered me, she said in an interview with the New York Times. In 1960, after paparazzi followed her home to her villa from a nightclub, Anita Ekberg was photographed kneeing one of them in the groin and pulling out a bow and arrow to threaten others. Felice Quinto claimed she shot arrows at him. Ekberg did not live in Sweden after the early 1950s and rarely visited the country. However, she welcomed Swedish journalists into her home outside Rome. And in 2005, she appeared on the popular radio program Sommar, talking about her life. She stated in an interview that she would not move back to Sweden, but would be buried there. On the 19th of July, 2009, she was admitted to the San Giovanni Hospital in Rome after falling ill in her home in Genzano, according to a medical official in the hospital's neurosurgery department. Despite her condition not being serious, Ekberg was put under observation in the facility. Sadly, in December 2011, it was reported that the 80-year-old Ekberg was destitute, following 3 months in a Rimini hospital with a broken hip. During that time, her home was robbed of jewelry and furniture, and her villa was badly damaged by fire. This act swallowed the famous actress' wealth. It's safe to say that she lost everything and had to secure help from the Fellini Foundation. However, before this unfortunate event, Anita had dated several men. Keep watching as we reveal some of them. You might be shocked to find your favorite actor on the list. Men who dated Anita Ekberg. Let's start with her most cherished lover, Gianni Agnelli. The duo met in 1958. Gianni Agnelli, also known as l'avvocato, meaning the lawyer, was an influential Italian industrialist and principal shareholder of Fiat. As the head, he controlled 4.4% of Italy's GDP, 3.1% of its industrial workforce, and 16.5% of its industrial investment in research. He was the richest man in modern Italian history. Agnelli had an impeccable and slightly eccentric fashion, influencing Italian and international men's styles. Agnelli was awarded the Knight Grand Cross of the Order of Merit of the Italian Republic in 1967 and the Knight of Labor in 1977. Following his death in 2003, control of the firm was gradually passed to his grandson and chosen heir, John Elkann. Next on the list is Alain Delon. Anita met him in 1962. A titan of the French cinema scene, Delon made his mark in film through his transformative roles and captivating screen presence. Born on November 8, 1935 in Sceaux, France, Delon initially pursued a career in the military before his undeniable charisma found its true calling in acting. His magnetic appeal resonated with audiences worldwide, earning him an iconic status that remains intact today. Stepping into the limelight with films such as Plan Soleil and Rocco and His Brothers, Delon displayed a unique blend of emotional depth and raw intensity. His performances in these films made him popular, setting the stage for a long and distinguished career. A consistent fixture in cinematic masterpieces, Delon worked with renowned directors like Luchino Visconti, Jean-Pierre Melville, and Michelangelo Antonioni. His portrayals of complex characters in films like The Leopard further established him as a heavyweight actor of his generation. Delon's influence extended beyond the realm of acting. He ventured into producing and established his own production company, Adele Productions. Despite facing personal controversies, Delon remained committed to his craft and continued to captivate audiences with his performances. His contribution to cinema was recognized with an honorary Palme d'Or at the 2019 Cannes Film Festival. Who else captivated Anita? Errol Flynn. A name synonymous with heroism and charismatic charm, Errol was a legendary Australian-American actor known for his romantic adventure films. Flynn's journey to Hollywood stardom was as adventurous as his screen roles. Known for his striking good looks, flamboyant lifestyle, and scandalous affairs, Flynn was more than just an actor. He embodied a bygone era of glamour and allure. His breakthrough role came in 1935 when he starred as Captain Blood, a character setting the tone for many future roles. The film was a resounding success and catapulted Flynn into the limelight. From then on, he became one of Warner Bros.' most bankable stars, delivering groundbreaking performances in films like The Charge of the Light Brigade, The Adventures of Robin Hood, and The Seahawk. However, Flynn's personal life was often as tumultuous as his character's adventures. He was involved in numerous high-profile romances, like Anita's, and was notorious for his love of alcohol and partying. Despite these controversies, Flynn remained beloved in Hollywood until his untimely death at 50. His talent, charisma, and larger-than-life personality have ensured that Errol Flynn's legacy continues to endure in the annals of cinema history. Another notable name on Anita's love circle list is Jeff Richards. The duo had a fling from 1955 to 1956. Jeff Richards was an American actor who gained significant recognition as Benjamin Pontypridd in the beloved musical film 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. This character, one of the 7 brothers, showcased his charm and talent, contributing to the film's enduring appeal. Released in 1954, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers was a remarkable blend of drama and catchy musical numbers. Richards' performance helped elevate the film's success. In 1955, his notable work in this film earned him a Golden Globe Award, marking a high point in his career and solidifying his reputation in Hollywood. While 7 Brides for 7 Brothers remains his most prominent work, his contributions to film and television were varied. Richards navigated the ups and downs of the entertainment industry, adapting to changing trends and audience tastes. Remember the name Marcello Mastroianni? He was Anita's co-star, and they pushed their on-screen performance into a real-life romance. One of the biggest international film stars to emerge from Italy in the 1960s, Marcello Mastroianni rose to worldwide prominence in films directed by the modern masters of European cinema, and opposite its most radiant actresses. After toiling for years in small roles, Mastroianni became a cinematic superstar with his performance in Fellini's La Dolce Vita. He became popular for his roles in La Notte and Divorce Italian Style, the latter of which won him a Golden Globe. This preceded his iconic performance in Fellini's visual masterpiece, 8 1/2. He was crowned Italian cinema's most prominent leading man in films such as Marriage Italian Style, The 10th Victim, and Shoot Loud, Louder, I Don't Understand, which cast him opposite the likes of screen sirens Sophia Loren, Ursula Andress, and Raquel Welch, respectively. The incredibly prolific and affable actor worked continuously in projects such as The Big Feast, Ginger and Fred, another of his many collaborations with Fellini, and the star-studded Robert Altman haute couture comedy Ready to Wear. In a screen career that spanned nearly 150 films, Mastroianni's unabashed love for his craft allowed him to consistently surprise audiences as he explored the limitless vistas of life through cinema. Next on Anita's list is Scott Brady. The duo had a fling in 1951. Brady was a ruggedly handsome actor whose presence embodied the tough, resilient spirit often celebrated in classic cinema. No wonder Anita couldn't resist him. Emerging onto the screen in 1948, he quickly made a name for himself with his role in the documentary-style film Noir Cannon City. This film, notable for its gritty realism, allowed Brady to showcase his compelling acting skills and set the stage for a career that would see him often associated with the American West. In 1954, he delivered a memorable performance in Nicholas Ray's Johnny Guitar, a Western that is anything but conventional. With its stylized visuals and psychological elements, the film allowed Brady to explore more complex characters, revealing layers of depth often overlooked in traditional Westerns. His role resonated with audiences, making him a significant figure within the genre. Brady's familial connection to Hollywood was also notable. He was the brother of Lawrence Tierney, another actor renowned for portraying tough, no-nonsense characters. This relationship not only brought attention to Brady in his own right, but also exemplified a unique bond between siblings navigating the challenging landscape of the film industry. Together, they contributed to a legacy of strong, memorable performances that defined a certain era of American cinema, particularly within the rugged, unforgiving backdrop of Westerns. Now, here is Tyrone Power appearing again. Do you remember he was Anita's co-star? Their on-screen chemistry flowed into something solid in 1952. However, like others, it was just a fling. A dashing lead in adventure films and romances, Tyrone Power was one of Hollywood's most popular actors from the late 1930s until the mid-1950s, and the pride of 20th Century Fox, his home studio. Power was one of the few matinee idols who gave MGM's Clark Gable and Warner Bros.' Errol Flynn a run for their money as a resident intimacy symbol, someone who could pull in as many females as male moviegoers. His handsome, chiseled features and natural athleticism made him a natural for swashbuckling fare like The Mark of Zorro and The Black Swan. Still, he was well-equipped for almost any genre, from westerns and crime dramas to light comedies and musicals. Though one of the top 10 box office's draws for years, Power yearned for more respectable fare, and after serving in World War II, made a bid for dramatic roles in films like The Razor's Edge and the disturbing Nightmare Alley. As he aged, Power turned his attention to stage acting in the 1950s, where he achieved success in productions of John Brown's Body and Mr. Roberts. His film career ended on a high note with Billy Wilder's Witness for the Prosecution before his untimely death the following year from a heart attack at the age of 44. Have we come to the end of the list? Another name connected to Anita was Walter Chiari. The duo met and dated in 1958. A former swimming and boxing champion, Chiari began his acting career in the late 1940s and first became noticed for portraying the cynical would-be seducer of Anna Magnani in Luchino Visconti's 1951 classic Bellissima. He appeared in international films, including Otto Preminger's Bonjour Tristesse and Silence in Orson Welles' Chimes at Midnight. After appearing in over 40 plays and musicals on the Italian stage, Chiari made his Broadway debut opposite Barbara Cook in the short-lived musical The Gay Life. By the mid-1970s, his career had wound down, and he attempted a comeback in the late 80s with Massimo Mazzucco's Romance and Peter Del Monte's Traces of Amorous Life. The last on our list is Yul Brynner. He dated Anita around 1952. His journey from a young boy in the Russian Far East to a celebrated international actor is a remarkable tale of talent, determination, and adaptability. After moving to France with his family, Brenner's early exposure to various cultures and languages profoundly shaped his artistic sensibilities. Among his many contributions to the performing arts, Yul Brynner is best remembered for his iconic portrayal of King Mongkut in the beloved Rodgers and Hammerstein musical The King and I, which premiered on Broadway in 1951. His performance was groundbreaking, bringing the character a compelling mix of nobility and vulnerability. This role made him popular and won him 2 prestigious Tony Awards, underscoring his remarkable abilities as a live performer. Brynner's impact on theater extended far beyond the stage. His role in The King and I was expanded into a film adaptation released a year later, where he reprised his role, showcasing his talent on the silver screen. His performance in the film garnered him an Academy Award for Best Actor, further solidifying his status as one of the top actors of his era. What set Brynner apart was not just his acting skills, but also his striking appearance. He was known for his distinctive shaved head, a choice he made for his role as King Mongkut. This bold look became a defining feature of his persona and influenced his public image, as he continued to maintain this trademark long after his time in The King and I. Throughout his career, Brynner demonstrated remarkable versatility, taking on various roles across film, television, and stage. In addition to The King and I, he appeared in notable films such as The Magnificent Seven and Westworld, showcasing his ability to captivate audiences with dramatic and action-packed performances. Yul Brynner sadly passed away on October 10, 1985, but his contributions to the world of theater and film continue to resonate. His remarkable life story and storied career inspire aspiring actors and fans alike, celebrating a man who seamlessly bridged cultures and left an indelible mark on the performing arts. Considered one of the first Russian-American film stars, he was honored in 1956 with a ceremony to place his handprints in front of Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood. In 1960, he received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It might interest you to know that Anita's love journey wasn't restricted to these men. She was connected to Frank Sinatra and others that were not widely known. Sadly, the beautiful actress passed away on the 11th of January 2015 at 83 in the San Rafael Clinic in Rocca di Papa, part of the scenic Roman Castles area. Her death resulted from complications related to chronic health issues she had been facing for years. In her later life, she had been using a wheelchair, a shift that followed a serious accident involving her pet, Great Danes. One of the dogs unintentionally knocked her down, resulting in a broken hip that significantly affected her mobility. In remembrance of her life, a funeral service occurred on the 14th of January 2015 at the Lutheran Evangelical Christuskirche in Rome. Friends, family, and admirers gathered to pay their respects to the beloved actress, whose career had spanned decades and left a lasting mark on the film industry. Following the service, Ekberg's body was cremated, and in keeping with her wishes, her ashes were interred at the cemetery of Skanör Church in Sweden. This decision reflected her deep connection to her homeland, signifying her desire to rest in the country where her journey began. What can you say about Anita Ekberg relationships? Feel free to share your views in the comments. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Before you go, click on the video displayed on your screen.